Hey, what's up, friends? Welcome back, and if you guys are brand new here, welcome to the show. My name is Anton, and this is the Anton Zach Rock Show, and today's episode is brought to us by Ken, who has requested that we check out Crazy on You by Heart off of their 1975 record, Dreamboat Annie. Now, anyone who doesn't know who Heart is, they're an American rock band formed in 1967 in Seattle, Washington as The Army, and they're fronted by lead vocalists, I guess technically both, Ann Wilson and guitarist and vocalist Nancy Wilson. And so that's it. So before we get into it though, if you guys have any song requests for me, as always, please leave them in the Discord. First link down below, and that's it. So let's get into Heart, Crazy on You, live 1978. You can see the fan blowing her hair. That's Nancy, right? So interesting how they're able to evolve over the years. 1975, this song was, I believe, when it came out. That's a cool riff. Finger-picked. Extended intro. I wonder how Ann's gonna sing over this though. That's a bit of like a country feeling. That riff. Nancy's actually a very good guitarist. This is hard, okay, yeah. I never knew this was by Heart.
We may still have time, we might still get by. Every time I think about it, I wanna cry. It's bomb to the devil, and the kids keep coming. Nowhere to breathe easy, no time to be young. No time.
She's amazing live, eh?
My love is the evening breeze touching your skin. The gentle sweet singing of breeze in the wind. The whisper that calls after you in the night. Kisses your ear in the early light.
Keyboards too going on? such a gallop.
I sang you the song that I heard up above, and you kept me alive with your sweet flowing love. Crazy, crazy, crazy on you. Ooh, crazy on you. I'm
Man, they have 3 guitarists? Oh man, that was a great performance. Wow. That one, yeah, like the only thing is I wish that was re-recorded actually, you know? Like with present day modern production, or not actually modern production. I just wish that like everything that wasn't recorded was taken out, you know what I mean? Because like if the vocals more in the forefront, right, in the mix, the guitars, the drums, everything, because obviously the hard thing about, you know, reviewing these older songs is that like they're recorded in like 50 years ago, like 45 years, like this was almost 45 years ago. That's shocking. Wow, literally 45 years ago. Jesus. Yeah, it's like I'm surprised it sounds that good, you know what I mean? Like with the sound quality and everything, like that was professionally recorded for 1978. And overall, that song, this song and Barracuda have that real, like, just gallop to them. You know what I mean? And it's interesting because I remember listening to, like, hearing this song on the radio when I was a kid. I just never knew this was Heart. Like, Heart is a band that, I don't know, I've heard the name before. And I heard a lot, like, a couple or a few of their songs. Like, I've heard Alone before. You know, I'd heard this before, I heard Barracuda and stuff, but it's like I never pieced together that it was the same band. You know what I mean? It was just a song on the radio or whatever when I was growing up. But it's like, yeah, Heart has these 2 very different sides of them. Like the 80s power ballad version of them and the 70s galloping, like it feels like a horse. You know what I mean? Like that's how I feel with this stuff. It feels like a horse, and the energy is so just fast. And this stuff shows off Nancy's talent, I think, a lot more. Like, obviously, the 80s side of Heart vocally is definitely more up my alley. That's what I really love and live and breathe. Just those massive, passionate, emotional choruses, right? And I guess this is very passionate. This is different. I find the 70s has a very different chorus style. And it's still like, it hasn't quite clicked with me as much as like the 80s. Because I think the 80s is when all those big producers came in and started making everything poppier, which I really like pop, you know, choruses and stuff, right? I love the melodies. And like I always say, I like the instrumentals with this stuff a lot more than the 80s, but vocally the 80s is my jam, you know what I mean? But yeah, so definitely Anne absolutely crushed the vocal. Like this stuff is definitely way more talent to do than the 80s stuff. But still, I just like the melodies more in the 80s. But yeah, Anne's voice is just like shriek. You know what I mean? Sometimes. But let's jump in the lyrics here and what the song's about. The song was written by Ann and Nancy Wilson about Ann's lover at the time, Mike Fisher, who was also one of the founding members of the band. So we got like a Fleetwood Mac thing going on here. Their other guitar player besides Nancy. Ann felt that though the world seemed crazy, and she often felt crazy, Mike kept her saying, "Oh, that's actually nice." I thought this was going to be a terrible breakup song. In this pic of Heart, Mike Fisher's on the far right. Very interesting. Wow. It would be a crazy thing to actually date somebody in your band, you know? But let's jump in the lyrics here now. If we still have time, we might still get by. Every time I think about it, I want to cry. With bombs and the devil. Yeah, this was 1975. Yeah, this was in the middle of the Cold War. Like, what was specifically going on in the Cold War during 1975? The bombs and the devil. Little kids keep coming. No way to breathe easy, no time to be young. Wow. This is kind of like a history lesson, you know what I mean? Of like a time... Yeah, because, you know, I was born in 1995, so for me, I never lived through a time of like existential crisis, you know what I mean? I never lived through a time of war that jeopardized my future, and I thought that everyone in a moment could be dead. So it's interesting. I don't even know how to relate to, you know, people of this time and their fears, because it's so different. Like, I guess we have Ukraine now and Russia, but I don't think it lands the same way it did with the Cold War looming over everyone's heads, you know? But yeah, that's a huge thing. No time to be young. I still kind of feel that sometimes right now. Right? Like, even with technology, the way technology is going forward, like, I feel like kids aren't really playing outside anymore, you know what I mean? In the same way. But I tell myself that I was doing all right. There's nothing left to do at night. But I go crazy on you, let me go crazy on you. My love is the evening breeze touching your skin, the gentle, sweet singing of leaves in the wind, the whisper that calls after you in the night and kisses your ear in the early moonlight. Yeah, this stuff is definitely, the 70s Heart is much more poetic. And you don't need to wonder, you're doing fine. My love, the pleasure's mine. Let me go crazy on you. Wild man's world is crying in pain. What you gonna do when everybody's insane? So afraid of one who's so afraid of you, what you gonna do? I was a willow last night in my dream. I bent down over a clear running stream. I sang you the song that I heard up above, and you kept me alive with your sweet flowing love. Oh yeah, very, very dreamy. Yeah, this side of Anne, I think, is definitely like kind of like who she really is. This emotional poet, you know what I mean? But anyway, this was a cool one. This is definitely gonna be one I'm gonna have to listen to a few more times, and I think really, and we'll have to do an actual reaction to the original so I can hear everything better, because this one, it was a bit like, the performance was fantastic, but it would be nice to hear everything in like full definition, you know what I mean? But what are your favorite Heart songs? Let me know down below, and what should we check out next? And lastly, I want to give a big shout out to my tier 3 patrons. So we got Brianna, Amber, Britt, Daphne, David, Kelly, Ken, Laura, Melissa, Russ, and Sharon. So shout out to all of you, and I'll see everybody again tomorrow. I love you. Bye.